Where have I been? This is a question that probably nobody is asking, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I've just been hanging out enjoying myself. So, gameplay in the background, playing RuneScape. If you've never heard of RuneScape, well, bit of a in-depth answer to give, but basically this is a game that probably most people started playing when they were 8 years old and then never stopped. I am one of those people as well. So for our conversation today, I'm just going to have this gameplay going in the background. It's currently what I'm doing right now as I'm recording. So what have I been doing the past couple of months? Basically, I have just been not playing Call of Duty. A majority of the videos on my channel up to this point have just been Call of Duty videos, and I've never been only a Call of Duty player. I have enjoyed games of all shapes and sizes ever since I was young, and the past couple of months have been no exception to that rule. I have been platinuming games and playing through a bunch of different games since the summer months. So what I wanted to do was basically just go through and talk about some of the games that I've been playing and just give some of my thoughts on them. I really just wanted to have a conversation about some of the games that I've been playing and how much I've enjoyed them. So the first game that I platinumed technically isn't within the time frame that I'm talking about, which is the past 5 months or so. I platinumed this game nearly right after I uploaded my last video, which is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. The reason I bring this up is because the entire summer was basically just me playing through Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls Remastered, I played Dark Souls 3, which leads me to my first platinum that I wanted to talk about. My Name is Mayo 2. This game is 99 cents on the PlayStation Store, and you basically just click a jar of mayo. In all seriousness, the first game that I wanted to talk about was Demon's Souls. I had never played Demon's Souls on the original PlayStation 3 when it first came out, but wow, this game was just a phenomenal start to what has become a phenomenal series. So Demon's Souls Remastered on PS5, to me, is the reason that you should buy a PlayStation 5. There are so many things in this game that just make it feel like it is a well put together, polished next generation title. The sound design in this game is phenomenal. For the people who really enjoyed the original, this is a game that is basically built upon the foundation of the original game. So all the combat and things along those lines are basically built upon the building blocks of the original game, just with a new coat of paint over everything. I wouldn't say that Demon's Souls is my favorite Souls game, but it was an absolute pleasure to platinum this game. I had so much fun going through it, and I am really looking forward to Elden Ring. Maybe I'll go back and platinum Dark Souls Remastered or Dark Souls 3, because I also played through those as well. I was going to play through 2, but I just moved on to other things, so I never got around to it. Maybe in the future, though. Alright, the next game that I want to talk about is one that really surprised the shit out of me. I did not expect to like this game, and then when I was playing it, I almost stopped playing it because I just didn't understand fundamentally how the game functioned. This game is Returnal. Returnal is such a surprising game because I have never played anything like it personally. I know it's akin to a roguelike, even though it's maybe not exactly like a roguelike would be, but it was a game that I just mentally could not wrap my head around for the longest time. I was basically running up against a wall for the first little while of playing this game and almost put it down. Basically, what I ended up doing was taking a step back, evaluating how I was actually playing this game, and then adjusting my game plan accordingly, if that makes sense. This game turned out to be such an amazing playthrough, one that was super interesting as far as a narrative perspective goes, and I just had such an awesome time playing through a game that I didn't really have any preconceived notions of. I had no idea what I was expecting out of this, but I'm sure glad that I played through it. Now, talking about the platinum, if any of you know anything about this platinum trophy, the scout logs, I believe they're called, the little collectibles that you have to find, were patched by the time I played this game. And what I mean by that is they were much easier to find. I still had to do some running around in order to get my platinum trophy, but not nearly as much as the reports I've seen some other people have to run around. There were people who would play through the game for 40 hours to get all the trophies except for the Scout Log collectible trophy, and then have to play an additional 40 hours just running through the biomes over and over and over again just to find those collectibles. I'm really glad it was patched to make them a little bit easier to find, because even as is, they are fairly tedious. This game is akin to a roguelike, like I said, so you don't get all the room spawns that the collectibles are in every single time you boot up a game. Other than that, the game was really enjoyable, like I had said, and I would really recommend it to anybody who's never heard of Returnal before. The next game, oh my god, let's talk about Deathloop for a second. Talking about interesting games with Returnal, Deathloop was... I don't even know how to describe how much I enjoyed this game. First off, I love Arcane, and Dishonored is one of my favorite games ever. I mean, that game basically got me to love stealth games. That and Hitman, but regardless, Dishonored was fantastic. So Deathloop coming out and seeing the trailers for it and not really having any fucking clue what this game was supposed to be, and then finally getting it in my hands to play it, I could not put this game down. I platinumed this game with so much joy, just going through the loops over and over again. It's so hard to explain this game by comparing it to other games, because it really is a unique way that this game plays through. So for those of you who don't know, the way that Deathloop basically works is that you are stuck in a time loop. You have these people who are basically, we'll say, responsible for this loop, and in order to break the loop, you have to kill all of them. But the catch is, you have to do it all in a single day. The game mechanics work through this day-night cycle, and different people will be in different locations, different times of the day. So think of it as you have 4 parts of the day, and each part of the day is basically a different structure to how a mission would work. A mission being a full day cycle. Once you reach the evening, if you have not killed everybody, then the day resets. Meaning you basically go back to square one. The catch to this is that you get currency throughout your playtime that you can use to save items that you have gathered throughout your time playing. So if you kill the boss, they dropped a gun that you really like, you could take that gun, you can hang on to it by using some currency to keep it. Kind of a long-winded explanation, I know, but it really is a game that if you've never played any Arcane Studios game, I would recommend highly playing this one. The voice acting is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. All the different abilities called slabs are really fun to use and mess around with, and you could really kind of cater to how you want to play the game. You can play it really stealthily. You can go in guns blazing. You can use a lot of those slab abilities, which are basically like magical abilities and stuff like that. You could focus on just using weapons and ignore the slab abilities altogether. It really is a fun and unique gameplay experience that I think anybody who likes first-person shooters, who likes, exploration, who likes narrative, I think you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Go play it right now. I swear you're gonna love it. So, Borderlands 3 was the next game that I had a platinum trophy for. Borderlands 3 is not a new game, but I platinumed it again on PlayStation 5. What I want to talk about for this platinum is how fucking annoying this platinum trophy was. Not because the game is bad. In fact, Borderlands 3 is fantastic. It is a lot of fun. It's a great game. Some hardcore fans have some critiques of the narrative. I have my own, but it is still a Borderlands game through and through, and it's still worth your time. The annoying thing about this game is that, like some other games, a platinum trophy that I didn't mention is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The reason I didn't mention that is because I had platinumed it on PlayStation 4 when it came out, and I downloaded the PlayStation 5 version because I wanted to see what the game looked like on PlayStation 5, and to my surprise, all of the trophies popped, and I got the Platinum Trophy by just basically logging into the game. So I have a Platinum Trophy for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Borderlands 3, on the other hand, does not function that way at fucking all. Basically, in order to platinum Borderlands 3, I had to create an all-new character and then go through the game in its entirety again to basically just get a handful of trophies that didn't pop when I downloaded it on PlayStation 5. It was so annoying to have to go through the game again because the game could not recognize that I had done these things already on PlayStation 4. I think it has something to do with importing your character from PS4. I don't really know, but I had to create an all-new character that was native to my PlayStation 5, so that didn't come from my PS4, and then I had to play through the entire game. That was just tedious to me because even though I do like the game, I didn't want to have to play through the entire game again to basically just get, I think it was 4 trophies that were like the total achievement trophies. So I couldn't even play through the game part way. Like, I literally had to do every single side mission in the game again in order to get the trophies. So it was really annoying just making the move from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. Did I have to do that? Absolutely not. I could have just left it without a platinum. Was I going to allow myself to do that? Absolutely not. My brain is fucked, so I went and spent literally 20 hours or some shit like that platinuming the game again. Moving on from my frustration, we have Far Cry 6. So, let's talk about Far Cry for a second. Far Cry 6 was a game for me that made me interested in Far Cry again. It's more of the same, don't get me wrong, but Far Cry 5, there was something about it that just I was not as invested in. Keep in mind, I still platinumed Far Cry 5 because remember, brainy brokey. But Far Cry 6 was a game that I was very excited to keep playing and to keep going through. Now, is there tedious stuff in this game? Yes. Like every Ubisoft open world game, there's tedious shit that you have to do in order to get the Platinum Trophy. It's basically a requirement when you're playing a Ubisoft game that you have to do every single thing in the open world in order to get the Platinum Trophy. A perfect example is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That game took me 120 hours to platinum, and by the end of it, I was so fucking sick of playing that game, I never want to experience it again, which is a shame because I had some fun with Valhalla. But the platinum took so long because you have to do every little thing in the open world that it was just not fun by the time it ended. Far Cry 6, on the other hand, is not nearly as long to platinum the game. It is probably around 40, 50 hours or so, depending on how much shit you do in the game. But it was still a fun game to play through, and I had fun with Far Cry 6. You know, the story was pretty interesting in this one. I did like the villain. You know, all Far Cry games, it really relies on it having a villain that you can get invested in. Ever since Far Cry 3, it's been a main staple of the game. But basically, if you want to play a Far Cry game and haven't in a while, jump in with Far Cry 6 because it is a good time. Alright, fellas and lady fellas, we have come to the final game that I would like to talk about, which is Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles. So, this is the Demon Slayer story game on PlayStation 5. If you've ever played the Naruto Ninja Storm series, this is very similar to that, where you have these kind of small corridor-ish sections that you can walk through in the story and, you know, have little collectibles and stuff. And then you go into, you know, battles with demons, and it is a pretty fun game. It is not the most perfect game in the world. If you've watched the show, like I have, and you've seen the movie, again, like I have, there are things that are not the same in the game as it is in the show or the movie. Characters kind of show up at different times. The dialogue is a little bit different. And I'm not expecting it to be the same. Let me make that clear. I'm not expecting to have basically the full anime play out in video game format. They, made adjustments where needed to in order to explain things in a shorter period of time. Does that make for a better story? Not really. If you've never seen Demon Slayer and you've never seen, say, the movie or anything like that, and you played this game, you are doing yourself a severe disservice, because the impact of the show, the story of the show, of the anime, is so much more impactful than the game is. And it's just because there's more time to get you invested in the characters. The music in the anime is fantastic. There is largely the same beats in the game, but it's not the same as the show. Last thing I want to say about it is, it was a fairly fun game to play through. There were a couple annoying missions that you have to get S rank on, which is the highest rank on that mission. And on some of them, you basically have to do them nearly flawlessly. You have to do them fast as shit and take no damage. That's basically your criteria in order to get S rank on some of these missions. It was a challenge. It was a fun challenge. Some of them were a little bit tedious, but there weren't really too many of them that made you feel like you wanted to throw your controller or something like that. It really was like, okay, almost got it that time. Let's go back in and try it again. You really do learn, the patterns of the enemies and stuff like that in order to successfully come out on top. All right, and with that being said, that is what I've been doing for the past 5 months or so. I just really like video games. I'm not only a COD player. In fact, I didn't even buy Vanguard this year. Part of the reason that I don't play Call of Duty all the time is because I get very frustrated. And you've probably noticed that I've said these games were a lot of fun that I've played through. And, if you looked at a numerical rating for all of them, they're not all going to be 10s. I personally wouldn't rate them as all 10s either. But the point I'm making is I was not angry playing these games. Call of Duty has this way about it that you just get so irritated playing the game, whether it being in the main menu looking at the stupid battle pass moments that they have, or the stupid microtransactions that are said to you. Now, other games have microtransactions, but that, doubled with it being a frustrating gameplay experience in a lot of cases, just made it unenjoyable for me. This is a broad generalization of the game, but I have just not had fun with Call of Duty for a while now. Since Modern Warfare came out, I just really have not liked a lot of the direction that the game has been going, and I just didn't want to participate in it anymore with Vanguard. Who knows, maybe I'll play it in the future, but I just kind of skipped out on that. So I'm doing my own thing, just hanging out, playing games as I always have. And I just wanted to share some of the fun ones that I've been playing through. Keep in mind, I've played other games that I haven't platinumed. I was just talking about games that I, had the completionist attitude for. One of the other games I played a little bit of was Riders Republic, another Ubisoft game. I swear to God, I'm not trying to buy just Ubisoft games. I talked about like 3 Ubisoft games or something like that. They're not my favorite developer at all, but they just happen to have some games come out that I wanted to give a shot. So anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for listening. Oh, one last thing I would like to say is Demon Slayer was the funny number platinum, so that was platinum number 69. So I have 69 total platinum trophies, which is kind of cool. So 70 will be soon. I don't know what the hell it'll be, but here's to many more platinums to come. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a like or subscribe if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. So thanks, and take care.